If you're wondering what I'm doing, well, I'm doing some soap shopping. But this has made me think, can the soap business make you some money? Well, today we speak to Michelle Ho, founder of Kinda Soaps. I'm Ben Ibrahim, and let's go find out how to make some clean profits, as this is Entrepreneur. It smells good. What kind of soap did you use to wash your hands today? Well, today on Entrepreneur, we speak to Michelle Ho, founder of Kinda Soaps. Michelle, welcome to Entrepreneur and thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
Michelle, tell us about this business you call Kinda Soaps.
Okay, it's actually Kinda Soaps. But a lot of people actually call it Kinda Soaps as well. But it's relevant because the reason why I started this was for my daughter.
Right.
And it didn't start as a business straight away. It was really just me trying to find my own way of treating her eczema, which she started to develop shortly after birth.
Right.
So, and it's just grown since then.
If it wasn't for your daughter, do you think you would have set up this business?
No, I'll still be a customer service head at the fund management company, and I will still be quite happily doing the work there now.
Do you really enjoy this business?
Yeah. Absolutely, because I enjoy working with my hands. I enjoy meeting people. Also, I mean the nitty-gritty behind the scenes and learning everything, as you go along on your own, that's priceless.
Now let's talk about nitty-gritty and priceless. You took the words right out of my mouth because we're about to talk about finance. In terms of production and costs, what kind of production cost factors did you have to consider before setting up this business?
Obviously, we had to look at the main thing for me to consider really was ingredients. I had to get it from a reputable supplier, one who could give me consistent quality and also proper certification on that. So prices for ingredients was one thing. Prices also for my packaging, that was another thing. Because the other thing that I offer is also complimentary shipping. So that was actually one of the things that really reduces my margins quite a lot. When I first started, it was only online businesses, so shipping was a very big part.
Does the customer know this?
They do. I make it very plain there, and it's free shipping to West Malaysian customers. But the main reason is because when people buy online, some of them might be like, oh, I'm not very sure whether buying 20 ringgit for a bar of soap is steep. So where's the confidence buying online? And then plus you're trying my products for the first time. So this is just to take off one rough edge of purchasing online.
I feel that she's always in high spirit, really putting a lot of time in her business, Facebook page, her blogs and websites, answering all questions. I feel that it is her dedication in her mission, which is to provide relief to people who has got skin problem, especially her daughter. That's how she started, and also a belief in using natural products.
What about financial costings? Tell us about that.
Okay, when I first started, it was really because I mentioned it wasn't for a business side. So it's really just, okay, whatever good ingredients I can find, I would just source. To make a batch of soap, all you need is a blender, your normal kitchen equipment, which is like mixing bowls and weighing scales.
To make soap, that's all?
It's actually very straightforward. If you know how to bake, it's pretty much the same. You're actually mixing a batter to pour into a mold, you let it set. Next day you come back, you slice it up with a sharp knife. So really the startup cost to do this was very small. You pay like 300 bucks for a good blender. Your mixing bowls and everything you just buy from anywhere. As long as it's stainless steel, not aluminium, that will take you maybe about 150 bucks at the most. So under 500 ringgit, you can actually get started with all this. But of course that one is really just equipment, and then after that you have to look into ingredients and all that. And right now, the bulk of my costs keep on getting good ingredients and picking up the supply for that.
Did you start with a fund, capital?
No. It's all out of our own pockets.
How much did you need, roughly? ballpark figure to start the business? Like you said, making this lovely piece of thing does not cost that much.
No, not
But other side of the business, office space.
Okay, right now I pay rental for my shop, which is about 1,000 ringgit. It's really small. Then staffing, I think I pay above market average right now. I'm actually offering 10 ringgit per hour for my staff. So you get commissions on the sales, and then also commissions from doing the website orders and things like that. So that works out to be quite a lot. You have utilities, like just for this place, for production, if I'm actually full swing, maybe about 200-300 ringgit a month.
So how much did you start with when you first started this business? Capital-wise?
Capital-wise, I think maybe about safely about 1,000 ringgit. Because the thing is that once people start buying, and soap is consumable, you know, so once people, if they really like it, they'll keep coming back, and people talk, they spread the word around. I didn't really have to like overly promote anything. It's really, proof is in the pudding. You know, if it works for your skin, you're bound to say something about it. And I tell people this is not a miracle product. We are just offering a natural alternative to what you normally buy commercially made, and people like that message. And I think the message of like me doing this for my daughter, that stuck. It seems to have a lot of traction with people who like the soap.
Now, Michelle, you're a business graduate by training. Before you started this business, Kinda Soap, did you do any form of business planning? Like how much do you need to sell to break even? How much you need to sell to make a profit? And other financial factors?
Rough estimations, yes lah. I'm not that good with the numbers.
Okay.
But gut feel told me is like these people do need it. So we did do a rough breakdown of like, okay, how many bars of soap do I need to sell? How many bars of this type of soap do I need to sell? Because all of them have different profit margins. Because my soaps are all standardized price, but of course all the ingredients and the level of difficulty to produce them is all different. So all of them have different profit margins, but in the end they all sort of balance out.
Now, with the benefit of hindsight, how would you have done things better or differently in terms of business planning?
I think I would have let go more of the day-to-day tasks faster. Then I can actually focus more on the bigger picture kind of things.
Details such as?
Before we opened the shop, we're entirely dependent on website orders. So there was one point where when we had media exposure, I was spending all night until about 4 in the morning just doing up shipments, and that lasted for an entire week. And that was really silly because the next day I'll be like cranky, let's have anything, and then my poor kids are all suffering because of that. But it taught me that actually these were repetitive tasks that actually you can very easily train other people to do. And that period showed me that also I was stuck in terms of there's only me to fulfill all these orders. Because of that, I couldn't do things like forward planning or reformulating or improving the formulations, improving the products, working on the product line, thinking about distributorships and things like that. So all the big picture things I couldn't do simply because orders went up, volume went up, and there was no way to really scale it properly.
And final question before we go for a short commercial break. What was the biggest learning curves that you faced when you first started this business?
I think that would have been looking for materials, looking for good suppliers, learning what were inferior ingredients, and then finding out the hard way that, you know, if you have a lousy batch of soap, you have to get rid of it. I had to train myself, I had to force myself to read up a lot on technical white papers and all that, on ingredients, on the essential oils and things like that, finding out what makes them work. For this one, because we are working directly with the skin, obviously I had to try on my own kids first and then give it out to other people to try as well.
Well, Michelle says ensure that the product is good and ready to go before it is shipped out to the market. And Michelle also says make sure you factor in wastage costs when you're designing the product. We're just going to take a very short commercial break right here on Entrepreneur. I'm going to go wash my hands because I've got soap in my hands. I've got to wash it. Go wash your hands and then come back, watch more of Entrepreneur, and we'll find out more about the soap business. See you soon.
Bila rumah saya nak siap ni? Anak saya ni, dia nak beraya kat rumah baru.
Cantiknya.
Serentak hati bingung dalam.
Kak, apa kata kita hias rumah kita? Bapak! Bapak! Bapak dah makan? Ya, punya soalan lah. Ni kan bulan puasa. Barang-barang untuk raya? Baju baru, kasut baru, sofa.
Suratmu yang lalu.
Kak, kenapa ayah buat banyak kerja? Ni semua kita pun pasal lah. Tak langsir lah, kereta lah. Kita guna je lah barang lama. Barang lama kan elok lagi. Janganlah main.
terimalah jawabanku ini. Hanyalah doa.
Bapak bangga dengan anak-anak bapak.
Isnin hingga Jumaat bersama Fatsri Haziz, Syamil Izwan Azizan dan Zulhelmi Zainal Azam memaparkan perkembangan sukan tempatan dan antarabangsa, kejayaan atlet dan isu semasa dalam dan luar negara. Dalam Sukan Awani, Isnin hingga Jumaat di Astro Awani, berita segenap dimensi.
Welcome back to Entrepreneur, everybody, and we're still talking to Michelle Ho, founder of Kinda Soaps, and I hope all of you on the commercial break did go and wash your hands. I certainly did. Now let's talk about marketing, because in the first segment you told us about making the product. Now, how did you position your business when you first started?
It was quite straightforward. When I was making the soap, it was for my daughter. So the easiest, most logical step was to actually reach out to other mothers who were also looking for natural skincare products for their children. And then obviously it grew also from there to individuals who had skin issues, who had concerns, or whether it's eczema, acne, whatever. We were all concerned about, just getting over that obstacle of having itchy skin and all that, and then just getting on with your life.
Is there a market, a large group of people that you can profit from?
Yes, there is. Every person has their own view about how their skin should be treated, what products will be suited to them. And I'm not about to try and evangelize and say, oh, only natural products will be good for your skin. I'm saying that there are different ways of going about getting your skin back to good health, and this is just one of them.
So tell us about the details of your specific target market, whether they likes, whether they dislikes, whether they shop, earning power.
For someone to be able to afford 20 ringgit for a bar of soap and on a regular basis, usually people may go through 2 or 3 bars of soap every 2 months. But target market, it would definitely be other mothers like myself who have young children, they have skin issues, or they're concerned about getting all natural products onto their children's skin or their families. That was the natural progression for me. That was the first market that I went to. Now it's progressed to individuals, maybe my age, from about 30s and all that, who are concerned also about the welfare of their skin. And interestingly enough, the elder segment is also starting to come in, which is quite strange because when I started, it was all internet only. But then when media started to pick up on Kinda Soap story, appeared in mainstream newspapers and all that, then they started to call up. That's when the more elderly segment, and when I say elderly, I'm talking about like 60, 70. So they're actually like asking whether the skin will benefit from using the soap. And they are also regulars now.
So what kind of market research did you conduct to find out all this information about this target market?
I started going to bazaars, and what I did there was really when people came by and they started to have a chat, I asked them questions about what their concerns were, and I just allowed them to just carry on talking. And the interesting thing is that once you get them started, they will just keep on going, and they offer you a lot of insight as to what they really need out of a product.
So you position the business, you found out some information about your target market. Now how did you put this bar of soap or soaps in your consumer's hand?
Most people bought the things online, they tried it out, and then they became repeat customers. Because I use my website as a sounding board. It's an information board. It's also a place where you can purchase the things, ask questions. In the earlier stages, I put my phone number very visible there. So they could actually call me. They could write me emails, and when they get the confidence that, okay, somebody real is answering my questions, they feel more comfortable with actually purchasing online there, because then they know that, okay, this person's going to take care of me, whether it's to answer my questions about the product or to sort out my shipping issues and all that.
I think she deserves to succeed, as all entrepreneurs do, to take an idea from a need, seeing how she may meet other needs as well, and then trying very hard. Now, whether she will really be successful beyond this point is left to be seen, but thus far, I would admire her for having taken it this far.
$20 per bar of soap. Why that price?
Obviously, it covers the cost. It's enough profit margin for me to carry on. But it's also an easy amount for consumers to work with. And also because shipping is complimentary, I don't have to like tambah all the additional things. So 20 ringgit is something that people can bank in cash into a cash deposit machine, let's just say, to do the payment.
Now, Michelle, because you're doing this business alone, do you place any targets on yourself? Okay. So to ensure, to drive you, to make sure you're making consistent sales and profits every month or every quarter?
Yes, I do set personal targets for myself, but I don't really make them known to others.
Right.
So the way I motivate them is, okay, for the staff at the shop, let's just say, I tell them, okay, today, this is the amount of sales that you made, and this is how much I'm actually paying you, for today's work. Then it's like, okay, they're quite happy with that amount. And they said, like, I just spoke to one guy, and he said, oh, okay, that's how much I made today, I must try and beat it the next time round. So I was like, okay, good. So if they are already self-motivated, I don't have to like shove numbers at them too much. And plus, because this shop is kind of like an experiment for me and for Kinder Soaps in general. So it's seeing what works for people. So I don't want to push hard number targets. But for myself, I do things like, yes, I do have certain sales for a month, and I see how much I can push that. But also things like I set myself in 6 months' time, I want to get my products notified with the Pharmaceutical Bureau. So that is another kind of target that I set as well, to get things moving, because it's so easy to just plan and don't do anything. And then I also have to line out what are the actual concrete steps that need to be taken.
Final question before we go for another commercial break. What is the harshest learning lesson that you've learned that has made you a better entrepreneur? Now, when you first started, it's all about getting started.
Yeah.
Once you have that confidence level and you get going, you learn other things. Tell us what those other things that you learned.
The harsh ones would be like your product is never perfect, and you better listen. So when people start saying that, oh, you know what, it didn't work for me, then you have to actually take a step back and say, because when I do this, it's not just as I'm making a product. I did it also because I like the handmade type of thing. It's more of like an art as well. So when you take a stab at an artist, it's not about aesthetics anymore. It's more of like, this is what you really need. And this is the whole reason why you ask questions in the first place, to get feedback, right? So what's the point if you don't listen? When we suddenly had a spike in orders and all that, so obviously we'll meet a lot more different types of customers. Some were not happy with how slow we were in turnaround time. Some people were not happy that, well, we ran out of stock. How can you run out of stock and not tell me? Like, you take a step back and say, okay, maybe there's something that we can do better. So just learn from that.
The management of people, which means the management of customers. If you can't listen to the grievances from your own customers, then it's going to be very, very slim pickings when you're running your very own business. We're just going to take a very short commercial break right here on Entrepreneur. But when we come back, we're going to learn how Michelle intends to grow this great business they call soap. Stick with us right here on Entrepreneur. We'll be right back.
Jomlah kita kekalkan keamanan dan kemajuan negara kita.
Dulu hingga kini, terbukti kestabilan ekonomi kita makin maju.
Malaysia, tanah air yang tercinta.
Kita harus bersyukur dengan apa yang kita kecapi hari ini.
Saya sudah boleh memilih.
Keamanan kini pilihan saya.
Malaysia mengamalkan sistem demokrasi.
Kuasa di tangan kita semua.
Kekalkan kestabilan yang ada sekarang.
Saya pilih perpaduan.
Untuk kita, untuk masa depan anak kita.
Macam-macam kemudahan yang telah saya nikmati.
Masa depan Malaysia adalah masa depan kita semua.
Saya pilih mengundi.
Saya pilih mengundi.
Kami pilih mengundi.
Saya pilih
mengundi. Saya pilih mengundi.
Saya pilih
mengundi.
Kami pilih mengundi.
Saya pilih mengundi.
Saya pilih mengundi.
Saya pilih
Minyak Primax 95 Extra ni banyak bagi perbezaan dari segi penyematan, dari segi kelancaran dan juga daripada segi pecutan.
Bila kita naik bukit sampai tak ada power dia kan ada itu bunyi. Lepas di sini minyak bunyi sudah kurang.
Kereta saya selalu susah nak hidup. Sekarang tak lagi. Ia dapat memberi penjimatan dalam jangka masa yang panjang. Awak patut cuba sendirilah kot.
Untuk ekstra prestasi dan penjimatan, switch for Extra. With over 1 million ringgit in prizes to be given away, Kia Sorrento, Tai Tony, it's all happening at the Stone Forest International Country Club, Yunnan, China. Max's Team Golf Tour 2012, the Grand Finals, from 25th to 28th November. Sign up now.
Tiap Sabtu, Astro Awani membawakan Business Awani Plus bersama Rizal Zulkifli dan Serena Manikam.
There are a lot of scattered blog shops all over the internet.
Rangkuman berita perniagaan dan ekonomi meliputi 5 berita mingguan terbaik.
Pengeluaran minyak mentah meningkat.
Domestic demand is strong. Asset prices continue to be holding up.
Ketahui prestasi dan prospek mingguan pasaran. Business Awani Plus, Sabtu 6.30 petang di Astro Awani. Berita segenap dimensi.
I'm feeling extra clean today, not because I've got 2 bars of soaps in my hand, but because we're talking to Michelle Ho, founder of Kinder Soaps. Michelle, how do you intend to grow your business?
Now it's working more on like distributorships. I don't want it to just stay as handmade soap, one person doing it all and all that. So I'm actually looking into registering the soap properly with the Pharmaceutical Bureau.
Okay.
So that one needs all the paperwork to be done, and then like knowing what the legislative requirements are for making a proper bar of soap and getting it out to the masses. So to grow the business, we're looking mainly at the different distribution channels right now. So we've grown from purely online to having a very small retail shop recently. We have had a lot of wholesale inquiries from like small time, maybe internet businesses as well, similar to how we started. But now we're looking at how we can actually grow to a bigger scale, distributorship and a bigger scales, which means that we need to get the products properly notified with the Pharmaceutical Bureau, and then we can see how we can take it from there. I'm not going to say that I'm hoping for a wad of cash to fall on my lap before I do anything, because everything that we've done so far, we've only done with cash. I've never taken a loan, and I'm comfortable with working with that, to make sure that the paperwork is proper, because I don't want to jump ahead of myself and start advertising big time. That's not going to hold.
When you grow a business, you have to think about where is the money coming from. So do you have some sort of financial business plan to really kickstart business? Because I'm sure you want to hire more people as well.
This is something that I probably am not very good at.
Yeah.
I've been sourcing for funding. It's not something that I personally like to do, but eventually, yes, that will be something that I have to consider. But I do also believe that if you do your homework, you're diligent, and you keep on consistently producing good quality products, hopefully there'll be somebody who takes notice. But at the same time also, if you have a specific timeline of what you want to get done, then you have to explore other options, whether it's to look for industrial grants or other funds, maybe from banks. But of course, like, that one comes with, if I'm really certain about my cash flow, then I can consider going to a bank.
Speaking about timeframes, how long have you given yourself to achieve those targets?
I'm going to say maybe 3 years. I already have an idea of where I want to be, and definitely not so much on a hands-on basis. I do want to spend time with my children.
Okay.
So they're only young at this age, and I do need to catch them at this phase, But I would like to grow the family and the business together, if
Very
it's possible.
ambitious, but go for it. Yeah. You've been running this business for 4 years. Tell us about the biggest milestones or milestone in those last 4 years.
Personally, to just see that every day there are orders coming through a website and not having to wonder, like, why is it so quiet? Knowing that, okay, suddenly you have a steady number of customers coming in, they're coming back. I must be doing something right. And to be fair for them and all that, then you start thinking, okay, this can't be the best already. So learning to actually say that can be better, keep pushing, do well by your customers. To know that people were confident enough in the product and in the person, it really validated what I was doing. I think I've made plenty about how you deal with people.
Internally or externally?
Externally as well. I don't think I'm unpleasant, but there were times where I took things too personally. Now I just say that what we can do is that we just take things as it comes. Knowing when to listen and to take into consideration feedback and all that, that's one thing. But also knowing that you can say that's gone too far.
And final question, Michelle, what's your advice for all aspiring entrepreneurs out there who do want to start their very own business?
If you really love what you do, that passion is going to carry you through all the ups and downs and whatnot. The important thing is that you don't get stuck with the technicalities and just the planning and all that. Take baby steps. Don't get too caught out in the big picture things at the start. Just get the little things out of the way first. Every time you get a task done, it fuels your passion, and then it's like, okay, I'm on my way, you know, so let's just keep going, build on that. The money will come if people see that you're genuine about what you are doing and that you really care for them. So if you are able to do that, to tune in to them, I think money is not really too much of a concern for you already, because people are willing to, you know, spend the money on your services, on a product, as long as they can trust you.
In summary, Michelle says, when you first start a business, start on the operational aspects first. Then, when the business grows, then you can start thinking about the strategic, big picture stuff. As usual, if you do want to give us some feedback, please do so on our Facebook Astro Awani website. Other than that, it's been a pleasant interview. We'll catch you next week. This is Entrepreneur, folks. Take it easy. Very much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle, first question, favorite food?
Nasi lemak.
Okay, nasi lemak. A lot of cravings lately?
No.
No
None.
cravings? Okay.
No.
Favorite movie?
Right now is The Avengers.
The Avengers.
Just because of that, the incredible number of, like, you know, throwback lines that they have back and forth. Yeah.
Favorite character in Avengers?
Iron Man.
Iron Man, okay. An actress that would play you in a movie if they had a movie called Kinda Soaps.
I have no idea.
Come on, you can do better than that.
No, I'm really not into, like, movies or not that much. Yeah.
Okay. Sports car or house if you had $5 million?
House.
House.
Yes.
Why?
I need a roof over my head. I can walk to work. It's okay.
Okay. And final question, what would you do with only RM1 in your wallet?
Give it away.
What? I mean, that's kind. That's why you call it Kinda Soaps, right?
No, yeah, that's automatic. Yeah.
Yeah, you give it away. You wouldn't eat something first.
I don't really think about that. No.
Okay, no wonder this business is called Kinda Soaps. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.